Hi, I'm Megan Adams, and welcome to Advanced Facebook Advertising. I'm a social media strategist who's helped to significantly grow many brands and businesses through online advertising campaigns, with a focus on the Facebook platform. I want to show you how you can go beyond the basics of just creating an advertisement. You'll learn how to take your campaigns to the next level, get up to date with the latest interface, and find new inspiration ideas for your next advertising project. You'll learn how to scale your advertising through the use of the Facebook Power Editor tool, as well as other advanced techniques that include managing your campaigns in bulk and retargeting. This course builds on your knowledge of Facebook advertising, so if you're not already familiar with these concepts, take a look at my Facebook Advertising Fundamentals course. This will bring you up to speed. If you're ready advertising to the next level, Power Editor is going to be the tool that does just that. The Power Editor is used mainly by professional advertisers, but it is a great option for smaller advertisers looking for more functionality when creating ads. This tool allows for the creation and management of advertisements in bulk and allows you to scale your advertising efforts. It differs from the standard Facebook ad creation interface in that it provides more levels of control. An important thing to note about Power Editor is that Facebook rolls out its latest changes and new features to it first. So for a competitive advantage, become an early adopter. This will help you stay up to date with all the new changes and be ahead of the competition when it comes to new advertising options. Secondly, the Power Editor is going to give you improved workflow. Within one window, you'll have all the bulk features you require at your fingertips. Duplicate ads, copy and paste from Excel, or apply targeting changes to hundreds of different advertisements at a time, or some examples. Your improved workflow will let you spend more of your time optimizing campaigns as opposed to creating ads. Finally, the Power Editor provides you with enhanced optimization opportunities. You can configure multiple goals alongside a single campaign, whereas you're limited to one within the Ad Create tool. These optimization opportunities expand beyond campaigns. You'll also have granularity when it comes to targeting a placement to take your advertising to the next level. Whether it's for personal, business, or as a career shift, the Power Editor is an essential component to your Facebook advertising strategy. Power Editor is the best tool to scale your advertising efforts, and as Facebook ads products continue to evolve and multiply, it'll be essential to get on board right designed for larger advertisers who need to create a lot of ads at once and require precise control of their campaigns. Let's start by taking a look at how Power Editor works. There are a couple ways to access the tool, but first, if you have not yet installed it, you'll need to do so. Power Editor is optimized for use with Google Chrome, so avoid using it in any other browser. It is not dependent, however, on a specific operating system. I'll take you through those steps using this fictitious brand. Your first step is going to be opening up a Chrome browser in Mac or Windows. Then head to your Facebook account. Once there, select Manage Ads. From your Ads Manager main menu, select Power Editor. If you're new to Power Editor, this is where you'll need to install it. You won't see that process here since this account has previously gone through those steps, but follow the prompts that appear on your screen. Now it's here you can choose which advertising account to view. For those of you who may already downloaded Power Editor, you can also head to the link showing on your screen below. Let's take a deeper look at Power Editor and how to navigate the tool. If at any time Power Editor seems to be acting a bit wonky, you can reset the program by selecting the gear on the right top-hand corner of your screen and selecting Reset Power Editor. The first thing to note is which advertising account you're working in. As I mentioned before, you can access that at the top of your screen here. Here you can see we're working as Henry Twill, and you'll notice any other advertising accounts you're an admin to listed in the drop-down. On the left side contains a search drop-down, which will provide you with additional ways to search for and organize your information. Next to that is the filters option. It's here you can drill down into your data. Here I have the option, for example, to filter all my results by recent ad changes. And I want to see both filters, so I'm going to hold Shift down and I'm going to select them both. Here you can see that this has been populated at the top of your screen. If I want to delete those filters, I simply X out of them. Right now, we're in the Campaigns view, and we see that because Campaigns is selected on the left. If I were to click on the information on the left, this window will change to reflect that. So now we can click over ad sets using the sub-navigation, and you'll notice that this information changes. Here we can filter by ad set. For example, we can select ad sets, not delivering. And again, to delete that filter, I'll click the X. Since I only have one ad set, there's not much to show here. If you want to modify how these windows look, you can click and drag the edges of the column like this. Let's drill into the ads view from the sub-navigation. Here the list view displays all the ads for the campaigns, ad sets, and accounts based on the selections we've made. In order to edit an ad and get to the work view, you can hover over the ad name and select Edit. The workspace displays all the editable fields about your campaign, ad sets, or ads. Right now I've selected an ad and I can see all of the options around it. I could also go ahead and create an ad based on the one we've selected. Just below the pencil icon is a Performance Insight tab. Here you'll see all analytics for the campaign, ad set, or ad depending on which view you're in. Let's go ahead and minimize this window by selecting the little arrow. At the top of Power Editor, you'll see additional icons. You can hover over each one to get a snippet of information of what they do. Feel free to continue exploring Power Editor while paying close attention to the dashboard and navigation using Power Editor. Let's talk about how Facebook will organize these ads. Facebook organizes advertisements into 3 levels: the campaign, ad sets, and then the ads themselves. And the structure makes it easy for you to organize, optimize, and measure the performance of your ads. So at the very top, we have the campaign, and this is essentially our objective. For example, we may have a campaign to drive clicks to a website or a campaign to increase likes to a Facebook page. Within a campaign, we have the ad set. A campaign can feature multiple ad sets, and each ad set can have its own budget and scheduling criteria. You might use an ad set to target different audiences. For example, you could create an ad set to target people who live locally. And within that ad set, you can have multiple advertisements. All the advertisements will inherit the targeting from the ad set and the objective from the campaign. You can have multiple ads in an ad set, and you'll use an ad to control things like the image, the link, or even the message you're sharing. Let's walk through a scenario to provide some additional context. Let's say that my company, H+ Sport, has a new sports drink and it's ready to sell. I might have a few different objectives. The first is to drive traffic to my website. That's to sell the beverage directly. The second is to increase brand awareness so that when someone sees H+ drink at the market, they'll be more likely to purchase it. And the third is to promote a special coupon for a discount at a local retailer. So I would create a campaign for each objective. Then I'd create an ad set for each audience. For instance, if we look at the campaign to drive traffic to the website, I might create an ad set for current customers, say from an email list, and then another for people who are in the community and like to play sports. Then I'll create the actual advertisements in each set, and they'll be custom to the audience. I might try a few images to see which ads work the best, maybe use a logo in one and a photo of the beverage in another. I could run both of those ads side by side to see which one performs better. Understanding how Facebook structures their ads will make it easier for you as an advertiser and help you evaluate your performance and optimize campaigns. Now head to Power Editor and take a look at how some of your ads and campaigns are appearing in Power Editor is similar to the Ads Create tool in Facebook, with the exception that you have even more control over the options. You can access the Power Editor tool by visiting the link on your screen or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. And remember that Power Editor is only supported on the Chrome browser. Let's first walk through creating a campaign using Power Editor. We do that by selecting the Create Campaign button at the top. Just as we would do with the Ad Create tool, we'll identify a campaign name, the buying type, and our objective. Now a quick note on buying type, it's usually best to stick with auction. That's the most common type. But depending on the campaign, you may see the fixed price option. This will allow you to set a predetermined rate on a CPM basis. Your objective will be similar to the Ads Create tool, so you'll select the objective and then choose Create. Here you'll see the Campaign Edit window appears, showing a snapshot of the campaign you just set up. This process is the same to create an ad set or an ad. You'll visit that section and then select the Create button. You can attribute an ad set to an existing campaign and an ad to an existing ad set. Now, when creating an ad or an ad set, you can also create a new campaign, simplifying this process. Let me show you what I mean by going into the Ads view and then selecting the Create Ad button. First, we need to identify an existing campaign or ad set, or we can create a new one. In this case, let's start fresh and create a brand new one. We'll select that option and give it a name. In this case, there isn't an ad set associated since we're choosing a new campaign, so I'll need to create a new ad set and then we can give the ad a name. Now, once we've set that up, we hit Create, and we'll need to go back and set up the custom options for our ad set or campaign and our ad. So let's go over how to do that. Here we are in the window where we can edit our ad. We know that by it being highlighted in our sub navigation on the left. Now you can edit your campaign by selecting this navigation, and here you see the window, and then here's the ad set. Now the ad set has much of the same functionality as Ads Manager. We can edit the budget, the schedule, we can customize our audience, and we can include interests and behaviors. In the Placement section, by selecting Choose Your Placements, you can determine where your ad shows up. And I want to point out the Only When Connected to Wi-Fi option. By selecting this, we can ensure that people who are on a Wi-Fi connection are served your ad. This is great, say, for mobile app advertisers who are looking for people to re-engage or reinstall their app. We have our Optimization and Pricing section and the Advanced Delivery. Here, the Accelerated Delivery option helps to promote time-sensitive events. Manual bid pricing is a requirement, however, but this tool will walk you through that when you choose that option. Let's go ahead and from the sub-navigation, select Ad. Here we are in the ad itself. This is where we're able to edit the ad name and associate the Facebook page. We have the capability of using an existing post, and here we can select our post from this dropdown, or we can create a new ad here. In this window, you have all the same options to create your ads as in Ads Manager. So go ahead and review any campaigns or advertisements that you have set up. One of the major Do you know where to find and manage all of your information? The ability to make changes across a wide range of campaigns, ad sets, or advertisements. Let's look at an example of how this works. Let's say you've created a campaign with multiple ads, and all of those have the United States and Canada as your target countries. Now, after looking through your advertising results, you decide to only target the United States. You could go into each one individually and change your targeting, or with Power Editor, you can highlight multiple ads and make only one change, and that change will then apply to all the ads you've selected. Let me show you how that looks. Here you can see that I'm in Power Editor. You can access it by heading to the link below on your screen or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. I'm going to head over to my ad sets. This is where I'm able to change my locations. Here I'm going to select the ad sets that I wish to change locations for. Now you can see here that the United States and Canada is the location option for all the ads selected. I wish to remove Canada, so I simply exit out. Now that change has been applied to all those that are selected. We could even head to the top and rename this ad set. Since Canada is no longer a target, we may want to take Canada out of its name. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the main dashboard. So what happens if some of the information for the ad selected is not uniform? To show you what I mean, I've gone ahead and selected one ad here, and I'm going to add Mexico as an option. So here our locations are for the United States and Mexico. I'm going to go ahead and select the other ad sets in our group. So you'll notice that the location field shows the term mixed state. This signals to us that some of the ads have different locations. Now we have a couple choices here. We can hit reset, so that allows us to start over choosing locations. And again, all the locations we choose will be applicable for all the ads selected. We can keep it mixed, because perhaps that's part of our strategy. Or we can find the odd ad out and ensure that it matches the location of the other ones. Okay, I'm going to bring us back to our campaigns dashboard. Now let's talk about campaigns. One thing to note is that resetting an objective at a campaign level won't cause the ads to inherit that change. You can update that info in the ad itself. Now let's look to see what happens when we want to take all of our existing ads along with their individual targeting and apply them to a brand new campaign. We can easily do that by duplicating the ads we're interested in. So heading to our ads dashboard, we'll go ahead and select the ads that we wish to duplicate. Now we'll go and select the duplicate button. And here we have the option to keep the same campaign, use an existing one to create a brand new one. Let's take a look to see how it looks like when we use an existing campaign. So now that one is selected, let's go ahead and create a new ad set. And hit create. So there you have it. All of those same ads that we selected are now pasted into that campaign. And from this window, we can go ahead and make any bulk changes that we require. Working in bulk will improve your workflow and add a new level of efficiency to help you manage large-scale campaigns. I would certainly give it a couple test runs before implementing. You always have the option of easily discarding your changes at the top of your Power Editor using the Review Changes button. So don't be afraid to experiment. Power Editor allows you to use Excel to manage your campaigns in bulk. This way you can make changes and edits to your data using a format you're most likely already familiar with. If you're an Excel expert, you can also use custom scripts and Excel variables to modify the data to match your goals. Now we're going to look at two different ways to work with your campaigns using Excel. The first involves copying and pasting, and the second involves an actual export-import feature. So the first thing we need to do is to go to Power Editor. You can access the tool either by heading to the link on your screen or by selecting Power Editor at the top of the My Ads Manager. Here. And we'll start by selecting a campaign from within the Campaigns tab. I've got one selected here, and I can copy this campaign using the shortcuts on my keyboard. Here I am in Excel, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this information here. Perfect. So these are all our campaigns with all the ad sets and all the advertisements attached to it, all located in our spreadsheet here. First thing to note is that we have our campaign ID at the top. Next, we have the campaign name, the campaign status, the objective, and so on. You're able to modify each field by simply selecting it and typing into it. So say I wanted to change a campaign status from paused to active, I can simply enter that here. And to make it really noticeable when we upload this, I want to change one of the ad names. So I'm going to go ahead and search for that ad name here. Perfect. Great. So say we want to duplicate or create a brand new campaign, we can start by selecting one of the campaigns here. And we'll simply paste it underneath. Now the first thing I should point out is that every new campaign you upload, by pasting back into Power Editor, you'll need to remove the campaign ID. Facebook is going to determine this for you, so make sure you delete this field, and we'll do that here. It's in Excel that you can go through and modify the various fields like the name, the tags, and you can update the statuses from active to say paused like we did earlier. Just make sure the value you enter into the fields matches the same criteria as Power Editor. I will show you where you can download a file with this information when we get to our import and export feature. Now there's two ways to get this information back into Power Editor. The first is that we can copy and paste the entire section of information. The second is that we can actually select specific campaigns to duplicate. This option would be used if you had multiple campaigns. So say you only wanted to take 2 rows, you can simply go ahead and select those, and then make sure that you include the header information above. With that, you can simply copy and paste that back into Power Editor. I'm going to go ahead and select our first campaign to paste back into Power Editor. Here you can see after pasting, we get this window prompt, and I can see the information that will be added back into Power Editor here. Perfect, my import is complete. I'll close that window. Alright, so there you go. You can see that we've included our new campaign that we've added into Excel back into Power Editor. You can view any changes made by looking at the snapshot here or by going into the ad or campaign or ad set itself. Now, if you have some exact duplicates, they won't be included. Power Editor only brings in the information that was unique. And like I mentioned, this process works exactly the same for ad sets and ads. So let's look at the second way to manage our ads in bulk. You'll notice under the navigation menu that we have the option with the two arrows pointing away from one another. This is your Export/Import button, and it's here that we can manage our ads by importing or exporting Excel files. I'll go ahead and select it, and we can see all our import/export options. This is where you can download the template that Power Editor supplies that has all the information and criteria you will require for your Excel spreadsheets. It'll provide a complete list of campaign objectives, and it's from here you can receive that template. Let's go ahead and import a spreadsheet we're just working on. I'll go ahead and select the Import Ads in Bulk option, and I'll choose the file that I wish to upload. Here you can see that our import is complete, and Power Editor will let you know when there's any warnings or any issues with the upload. I'll go ahead and select View Details. And we did have some 2 rows that were blocked for invalid IDs because, like I mentioned before, we didn't remove those. So using Excel is a powerful way to manage your ads in bulk. I do recommend working with existing ads and practicing copying and pasting that information from Power Editor to Excel and doing small edits to begin with. As you become more comfortable with each column, you'll find that you can create large bulk sheets and then import them directly into Facebook. If you're testing a lot of creative, it can be time-consuming to update your ads one by one. Fortunately, Power Editor allows you to import images in bulk, and you can do this in a few different ways. You can access Power Editor either through the link on your screen below or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. Before we get started uploading images for our ads, we'll want to ensure we have the right images available. Heading out of Power Editor, this is where we can upload and manage all of our images we'll be using for our advertising. Here we can see all the images in our library. Selecting the Upload Images button, we can upload brand new images. A quick way to upload those multiple images is to simply hold down the Command key on Mac and select the ones you wish to upload. If we go ahead and select an image, we can either delete it or get more information on it. Here you can see its name, and the hash is a numerical value Facebook has associated with this image when we use it for our ads. Now, heading back to Power Editor. Let's go over if you want to bulk assign a new image or images to your ad. There are 2 ways to do so. The first is through Power Editor itself. First, we'll select the ads we want to change. In the Edit screen, you can see that a multivitamin image is being used. Here we're able to change the image. So we can either upload an image, use the images in our library, or find a stock image for this ad. We're going to go ahead and select the soccer image here. Once that has been updated, this change will then apply to all the selected ads. Now this can get a bit manual if you have hundreds of ads. Using Excel, you can export the CSV file directly through the Bulk Import and Export option and seamlessly bulk edit your images. And from the Export and Import option, choose Export Selected. This will download the CSV file for that specific ad, which we can then open and begin to make our modifications. Now, if we just modify the image of this ad, we first need to scroll across until we find the heading, Image Hash, and delete that value we see. And we're going to go ahead and delete all the image hashes for this upload. Once those are deleted, we'll continue scrolling all the way till the end until we get to the image column. It's here that we can associate the name of the image that we'll be uploading along with the spreadsheet. In this case, I've already saved a few images, one of which is called bottle.png. Because I want this bottle to show up for those ads, I'll go ahead and drag that down the spreadsheet. What this means is when we upload this spreadsheet, I'm also going to include the file bottle.png, exactly named that, and Facebook will associate that image with our existing ad. Now, let's say we want to add another image into the mix. I'll add the second file name I've saved. Okay, so our ads will have one of two images, either the bottle.png or the multi.png. From here, we'll save the file and return to Facebook Power Editor. Using the Export/Import option, I'll choose Import Ads in Bulk, and the first thing we need to do is choose a file that we just created. Now we can select either the individual image files, or if we have multiple image files, we can first create a zip and then select the zip file to upload it. In this case, I only have two images, so I'll go ahead and select individual files. Now, Power Editor will be importing the information. So there you have it. Those new images have been uploaded to the corresponding ads. Let's take a look. Here we can see that our multivitamin image has been added to this new image ad in replacement of the soccer one. Using the Bulk Image Uploads tool, go ahead and quickly test multiple creative options to see which combinations work best for you and your advertising strategy. When you are scaling your advertising efforts, it's important to keep your campaigns as organized as possible. One of the ways to help with this in Power Editor is by using tags. Tags help you organize or label for purpose of identification and quick reference. When you create a tag, you'll be able to see the campaigns that have that tag by choosing specific filters in Power Editor. This makes it easy to navigate large quantities of campaigns as you scale your advertising efforts. You might use tags to differentiate between products, launch dates, or even objectives. Now, you can only use tags to correspond with campaigns, but doing so is fairly easy. Make sure you're in Power Editor and let's get started. You can access the tool either through using the link below or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. From the Campaigns view in Power Editor, select the campaign you want to tag and click the tags icon above in the navigation. Here you can see the associated tags with this campaign, as well as other tags that aren't associated. Let's go ahead and create a new tag. Great, so now this campaign will also have the tag Second Campaign. Let's go ahead and select Apply. Now a campaign can have as many tags as you want, so you can easily repeat this process for the same campaign or additional ones. Alternatively, you can add campaigns to existing tags by selecting a campaign and then choosing from the available checkboxes. To remove a tag, simply select the campaign and uncheck the options. And to delete a tag, simply select the X. It's a good practice to use tags. Start by creating some high-level groups. As you create more campaigns, you may need to make things even more specific as you scale your efforts. Facebook has a variety of options when it comes to bidding, and it's important to understand all the nuances. To look at a bid, let's visit an ad and then drill down into the optimization and pricing window. Ad sets are what contain the bidding and optimization options, so I'm going to go ahead and select this ad set. I'm going to scroll down to the optimization and pricing section. Remember, you can access Power Editor either through heading to the link on your screen or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. Now, more often than not, advertisers stick with the automatic bidding option that Facebook provides. Facebook will suggest that you use default bids, and this is mainly to ensure that your ad is eligible for display to most audiences. However, as you scale your efforts and become more familiar with your data, it's a good idea to start exploring manual bidding. Manual bidding is useful for both specific audiences and broad audiences. There are many situations where you want to set a higher bid than the default. It's possible you met an audience that's valuable and it's worth outbidding your competitors. So if you do want to modify your CPM bids, you can select the Manual Bids radio option, just like I did, and make some tweaks. By selecting different bid amounts, you can control how Facebook optimizes your campaign, and depending on your goals, you can increase or decrease your bids for each variable. If I'm interested mostly in clicks, I'd ensure the link clicks is selected, then choose manual. We also have impressions and daily unique reach as options as well. Here we see that Facebook has auto-suggested $3.78 per link click as an estimated value based on our ad criteria. We can also see what they suggest based on what our competitors are bidding. We can see the suggested bid being $1.04, and the range from $82 to $1.38. Now, based on that information and my own research, I'd set whatever maximum per click value I've determined will work for this campaign. In this case, I'll save $1. So we're going to be spending $1 per link click. Now you also can simply bid with traditional CPC and CPM by selecting those options above, and then making your necessary configurations below, similar to what we did earlier. Here we can see that we're talking about impressions. So if we stuck with this number, we'd pay $2.20 per 1,000 impressions. Here the suggested bid is a lot higher, hitting over $6. I recommend beginning with the basic CPC model until you find a successful combination of cost and targeting. It's a lot more cost-effective, and it ensures that you can really track the success of your ads. From there, copy your campaigns and start to tweak variables in the optimized CPM. Now start experimenting with manual bids. Are you able to achieve results better than the traditional CPC bids? Another powerful feature within Power Editor is the ability to create page post advertisements without having to interact with the post interface on your actual Facebook page. Because all advertisements on Facebook are essentially a page post, it's extremely valuable to leverage this tool from within Power Editor. Now, before we get started, let's talk about two types of page posts. There's a published page post, which essentially means that it'll appear on your page timeline and will also receive organic distribution. And then there's the unpublished page post, often referred to as a dark page post. This is strictly an advertisement. It'll look exactly like a page post and function like one, however, it won't actually receive organic views or appear on your page timeline. This is extremely useful as you test different offers, creatives, and ad copy. It will eliminate cluttering your page with a wide array of ads, but it also offers you the opportunity to exclude your current Facebook fans. You can experiment with a variety of ways to use published or unpublished page posts. Let's take a closer look at how to create them. Remember, you can access Power Editor either through heading to the link below on your screen or by selecting Power Editor at the top of your Ads Manager. The first way to access page posts is by selecting it from the top menu. Here we'll see a list of all our page posts from the page that we have selected. In the main window, we see all scheduled, published, and ad posts that are applicable to our ad. One thing to notice is the privacy column. This is where you get a snapshot of what ads are private, meaning these ones will not receive organic distribution or appear in your newsfeed. If I wanted to publish any private post, and for the sake of this example, I'll just select a public one, I'll choose Actions, and I can publish it right from here. I'm also able to use the Action menu to schedule, delete, and create a new ad. Now, when scheduling, set the date to publish the post, and once you're ready, you can choose Schedule, or you can cancel out of this. To create a new post, you can also use the Create Post option from the upper navigation. I'm going to unselect this and select Create Post. Here, Facebook is reminding you that you can create newsfeed eligible ads in Power Editor. We will be going over this later in the video. In this window, you can select what type of post you're looking to create, either a link, carousel, photo, video, status, or offer. And this might look a little bit different to you. Facebook is always updating these offers. Next, you'll fill in the content for your ad and enter either an image URL or upload an image. When uploading an image, it must be from your computer. Unfortunately, there's not an option to access your image library. Next, you see two radio buttons where you can select whether that post will only be used as an ad or the post will be published on the page. Facebook will give you some additional information indicating that the languages and location settings that you select here must also match those in your ad. Basically, what's happening is Facebook is saying you can't show an ad only to people in English on your Facebook page organically and then decide to show it to people of other languages as an ad. Both must match. So once you're ready, you can choose Create Post or cancel out of there. I also want to point out that you can view post details that include some valuable analytics by clicking directly on the ad in the list. And remember, you can also publish posts straight from the ads section in Power Editor. Let's walk through a quick example. I'm going to head over to my Power Editor dashboard. Selecting my ads view, I'm going to select an ad that I wish to edit. From here, I'll scroll down to the destination, ensuring that a Facebook page is attached. Here I can see H+ Sport is associated, and further down to the existing page post option. Here I can see the page post that is associated with this ad, but I also have the option of selecting other ones. This one mentions that it's unpublished, so we know that this is a non-organic page post or a dark page post. To add a brand new page post, select the plus icon just to the right. You'll notice this window looks very much like the post box you would find on your Facebook page. You'll go ahead and fill it in with your ad information, where then you have the option of publish. You also can schedule or backdate before you publish this post. Now you may have noticed the Enter Post ID option under the Page Post list. Every ad on Facebook is assigned an ID, along with every campaign, ad set, and ad. You can quickly find your post ID back in your Page Posts view. Let's head there. Great, so here you can see the IDs associated with these posts. Now, one feature still missing from Power Editor is the ability to bulk create unpublished page posts. So you'll still have to manually create the page posts one by one using either one of the two options we just reviewed. Leveraging unpublished page posts will greatly enhance your ability to craft unique advertisements while still providing high-quality content on your directly target your customers and prospects on Facebook. You can set up a custom audience through your Ads Manager. You can find Ads Manager on the right drop-down menu of your Facebook account and then by selecting Manage Ads. Once you're there, choose Audiences from the top menu. You see here I'm on the Audiences dashboard, and it's here that we'll have the option to start creating a custom audience. It's at this point you'll need to start thinking about where your custom audience data is coming from. You'll be uploading a file to Facebook, and they'll be scanning their database to match the information you provide, either an email address, phone number, user ID, or mobile advertiser ID to a Facebook account. The most common type of data format to provide is a CSV file, and Facebook will want your data in one single column with one record per row. Now, I'm going to be uploading a list of email addresses for this example, so I'll switch over to Excel where you can see the list of records I've already created. These are all fake accounts, so once we upload them to Facebook, our match rate won't be accurate, but it still makes for a good demonstration. I've gone ahead and exported this list as a CSV from Excel, so I'll head back to my Audiences view. The first thing I'll want to do in order to upload this file is to select the Create Audience option. In the drop-down, you'll have 3 additional options: Custom Audience, Lookalike Audience, and Saved Audience. We're going to focus on the Custom Audience for now. Here I'm prompted by Facebook to determine how I want to create this audience. We have the option of a customer list, website traffic, or app activity. We're going to upload a customer list, so I'll select that option. Now I'm going to upload the CSV file we've saved the email accounts on, and I'm going to go ahead and ensure that emails is selected. Here we can see the other types of information we'd also be able to upload. I'm going to select the file, and by selecting Create Audience, Facebook will import all that information. Next up, we can give this audience a name. Now, it's important to be as descriptive as possible, as this will be how you find the custom audiences when you go and create your ads later on. It might be a good idea to also include the date so that you know when these emails were first uploaded. That way, if you're trying to update your list frequently, you'll know how recent it is. And I'll just put date here. You also have the option of adding a description. In the event the audience name wasn't descriptive enough, you can use this to provide some more context for what it is you're uploading. Below that, you'll notice this reminder lets us know that it takes up to 30 minutes before you can use your audience. It won't be available right away, but you will receive a notification in Facebook letting you know when your audience is ready. From here, we'll choose Next. Now, right away, you have the option to create an ad or expand the audience. Expanding the audience just means you're adding more people to it. I'm going to go ahead and leave our audience as is and select Done. Here we can see our list is populated in our view. On the right-hand side, we see the availability is marked by a red circle, showing us that there's some issues with the list that we uploaded. Namely, there is a low match rate, namely because we use fake emails, and they are unable to be matched with any Facebook accounts like we predicted. It also signals that the audience is still processing. Let's take a look at another common import method, which is MailChimp. We'll head back to our Create Audience, select Custom Audience, Customer List, and then Import from MailChimp. If you're using MailChimp as your email service provider, Facebook makes it really easy to import your contacts directly. After you select Log into MailChimp below, this is where you'd log in using your credentials, and the app will automatically redirect you to the Audience Manager. When you're there, you'll see the email list that you've already created in MailChimp. Now you can select that list or multiple lists to create your custom audience. But keep in mind, if you select multiple lists, Facebook won't merge the two into one. They'll instead create two separate audiences. But that's not a problem if you intend to merge them. You can simply target both audiences simultaneously when you create your advertisements. Okay, so let's take a look at the other audience option. I'll select Back. Now here at the bottom of the list, we have App Activity. This one is a little bit more involved. It's really only useful if you have an application that's already interacting with Facebook. If so, you'll want to review the developer documentation for more information on how to target your mobile users. Now we also have the website traffic option here. This option requires a pixel. Basically, that's a snippet of code Facebook provides you to paste in the header of every page you wish to track on your website. You're able then to track people who have visited specific pages and target your ads directly to them. Audiences are extremely powerful. They not only become the foundation for lookalike audiences, but they provide you with ample opportunity to include or exclude customer segments for highly relevant targeting. Use a custom audience to provide special offers to existing customers, or you might even want to create lists based on the last time a purchase was made on your website. Take some time now to determine how you might use custom audiences in your marketing efforts. The ability to create a custom audience based strictly on your web traffic. Often referred to as retargeting or remarketing, you'll be able to deliver targeted advertisements to people who have visited your website, but not necessarily provided you with their contact information. You can develop a custom audience by utilizing a tracking pixel that tracks on any page you indicate. So you might capture a list of people who browse your website, or perhaps you only want to see people who have seen the confirmation page after they've made a purchase. You can also target people who put an item in their cart but never reach checkout. If that's the case, then you might use a Facebook ad to find them, offer them a special deal, and encourage them to come back to your website. Facebook will also let you refine your website traffic based on pages that people have visited without the need to install several different tracking pixels. So you won't need a unique tracking pixel per page, and that's a nice bonus. To get started, you'll visit the Custom Audience tool either from Ads Manager or Power Editor. In this case, I'm already in the Ads Manager Audiences section, and I got here by selecting Audiences in the top menu of Ads Manager. On this page, you'll create a custom audience, and since we're dealing with website traffic, I'll choose that option from the list. If this is your first time creating a custom audience using website traffic, you're going to actually view a different page. You'll start at the pixel page. I'll show you that by choosing the settings icon here in the bottom left and choosing View Pixel Code. This is the actual pixel code that you'll install on your website. You can select within the box to copy all the text, and you'll take this code and paste it between the head section of your website. You want to put it on every page in your website. That way you can customize when you want it to track a particular person or action and when you don't. If you'd like to send the code to your website developer, choose this link. And then you can set up an email, put their email address here in the To section, add a message, and the pixel information will automatically be added for you. I'll choose back, and then let's choose Create Audience to move on. The next step is to pick the targeting of this particular audience. It's here that we have the opportunity to create rules that only add people who have visited certain pages. Facebook defaults you to anyone who visits your website, and that's the whole site. If you want to change that, choose from the drop-down, and you can select these various options here. To show you how this works, I'll choose people who visit specific web pages. Here we then get the option to add some rules. Here I have URL contains, and then I can add keywords that specify what words are in the URL. In this case, if the URL contained checkout, I could add that. Or maybe the URL contains store, so I could add that as well. In this scenario, the pixel will track that visitor who lands on a page that includes either checkout or store. And by page, I mean the actual URL, so the address bar at the top of the screen. In this dropdown, you can also choose URL equals, and that's if you wanted a very specific URL. I'm going to select these to delete. So here you might say URL equals, so that's an exact match URL. Now looking at another option from the dropdown at the top, we can choose people visiting specific web pages, but not others. I'm going to delete this selection here. So this is how you might capture someone who's tried to purchase something but abandoned the cart. In this case, I'll have URL contains store. Then we'll exclude people who visit any web page that meets the rule checkout. So what I've done here is I've said if anyone comes to the site and views any section within the store, I might have store/product A, store/product B, and so on and so on. I'd like to fire that pixel, but only if they didn't meet the checkout option. Someone who went to the store and then bought a product will not appear in this custom audience. This is a great way to do abandonment remarketing. As you can see, there's a wide array of options for customization, so you'll need to set this to meet your specific goals. Once you've filled out all the necessary information, you can choose Create Audience. One other thing I'd like to point out is that you have the option to indicate how long you'd like to capture this custom audience for. In this case, it's defaulted to in the last 30 days. This is called a look back window. Basically, it means that Facebook will look back 30 days and include anybody who's visited within 30 days of the creation of this custom audience. You can adjust this window up to 180 days, but typically 30 provides the best results. But again, depending on your audience, you may see success with an increased look back window. Now, I'll go ahead and give this audience a name and then choose Create Audience. I'll choose Create Audience. And one thing you'll notice is that we have our new custom list in our window. Here I can see the red circle is highlighted, and we can notice that the audience is too small. This is actually because we haven't installed the pixel on our site. If we want to review the pixel, I can select the checkbox next to the audience, select Actions, and View Pixel. Once you've installed the code, you should come back here and see if the viability of this pixel is improved and you get the green light. There are many ways you can work with custom audiences based on web traffic, and I highly recommend if you're an online retailer, you begin setting up your tracking pixel and working with Facebook's lookalike audience feature. This tool lets you reach new people who are likely to be interested in your brand, product, or website because they're similar to a customer list you've already created. A lookalike audience is built off of an existing custom audience, so you'll need one of those first. To put this into perspective, let's say you've uploaded a list of everyone who has purchased a product from your website. You know that's a good audience because they've converted before. You can then instruct Facebook to create a list of Facebook users who are very similar to the customers that have already converted. This becomes your lookalike audience. What's great is that audience won't include any users from your current custom audience. Instead, Facebook will take a look at the similarities between your source audience. They look at things like demographics, interests, and likes. Facebook will also let you decide if you want your lookalike audience to be very specific or broad. The smaller the audience, the more precise the match rate will be. When creating a lookalike audience, you can only select one source country at a time. You'll have to create a lookalike audience for those who live in the US and then say a separate one for those that live in Canada. To create a custom audience, the first thing we do is we go to our Audiences view. You'll visit the Audience tool either from Ads Manager or Power Editor. In this case, I'm already in the Ads Manager Audiences section, and I got here by selecting Audiences in the top menu. Now I'll select from the Create Audiences dropdown, and I'll choose Lookalike Audience. The first option is to select a source, and a source can be a custom audience, a conversion tracking pixel, or a custom audience based on current fans of your page. I'm going to go ahead and select the Customers in College list, and then I'm going to choose the country I wish to target. Here's where we get to decide on the size of our audience. It's defaulted to 2 million, but I also have the option of broadening that audience as well. I'm going to go ahead and drag it around to the 4 million mark. Once you're ready, you'll choose Confirm. And just like our custom audiences, it'll take a little bit of time for that lookalike audience to be ready, but we can view it and its progress on the Audiences view right here. Now, one thing I should also point out is the lookalike audience refresh rate. So a lookalike audience is linked to a source audience. In this case, our lookalike audience is linked to our Customers in College list. Now, if there's a substantial change to the source audience, say I add 25% more emails, then the lookalike audience will update to reflect that. If there are no significant changes to the source audience, Facebook will automatically update the lookalike audience about every 7 days to keep things fresh. It's a great idea to leverage lookalike audiences. For many advertisers, they'll return better results than standard interest-based targeting, so it's really worth the time and effort to set them up properly. A powerful way to directly target your customers and prospects on Facebook. Let's take a look at how you can leverage them alongside an advertisement. Now, I've gone ahead and created a new ad set in Power Editor. I got here by selecting Power Editor in the top menu of the Ads Manager, and then by selecting Ad Set from the sub-navigation on the left. Here you can see the ad set that I'm currently editing. Let's scroll down to the Audiences section. At the very top, we're presented with the option to include a custom audience or to exclude a custom audience. I'm going to go ahead and select Include, and then our list of custom audiences will auto-populate. I'm going to select Customers in College. I have the option of adding an additional list or excluding an additional one, but I'll keep it the way it is for now. Taking a look at those audiences, this is really where descriptive naming conventions will help you. Since you can't see the description of the list in this view, I always like to make sure that the names of my audiences are as helpful as possible when creating ads. From here, I could continue adding my targeting just as I normally would. The targeting is then only applied to those that are in the custom audience we selected. Try creating a few varying offers of your own to test out the performance of your audiences. Make sure to keep them up to date, refresh the creative on your ads in order to prevent ad fatigue and to maximize their performance. You'll want to start creating multiple ads of an advertisement or campaign while using different targeting parameters for each one. For example, I might have an advertisement selling my sports beverage for $5. To test out which audience works best at this price point, I'll duplicate the ad and target it to a specific age range and gender. So I might make an advertisement for 20 to 24-year-old males. Then one for 20 to 24-year-old females, and so on. To get started, you'll visit the Power Editor tool by heading to the link on your screen or by selecting it in the top menu of the Ads Manager. So to get us started, I've created a campaign, and now I'm going to head to the targeting portion. Let's scroll down to the Audience section and set up our first audience. In this case, we've decided we're going to target females between the ages of 20 and 24, so I have that selected there. I've set up our creative along with any other targeting options. Everything has been configured the way we'd like it. What I want to do now is choose the Add, Export, Import option, and I'll select Export Selected. Let's go ahead and open up that file we've downloaded. This is our export from Facebook containing our advertising information. The first thing we want to do in Excel is to find the ad ID, which is over here, and we're going to go ahead and delete it. We're also going to want to delete the ad name, so we'll scroll over and find that. We'll also need to remove the campaign ID and campaign name if we're going to be creating custom campaigns. The reason we're deleting the IDs is Facebook is going to automatically assign these when we go to re-upload the file. We're also deleting the names because we need to have custom names for each of our ads so Facebook doesn't see them as duplicates. Next, you can copy and paste the row into as many modifications as you'd like. In this case, I'll do 1. Now be careful if you select and drag in Excel, as it will create an incremental value automatically, which can adjust your bids and other settings. When working with real campaigns, it is best to copy and paste. Now we're going to want to give each row a new ad name and campaign name, which I'll go ahead and do that now. We'll want to make sure each new advertisement has a separate name. Now once we've got our ad names and our campaign names configured, it's time to adjust our targeting. In this case, I'm adjusting the age, so I'm going to scroll until I notice the sections labeled Age Min and Age Max, as well as the section labeled Gender. Now our ad setup is for women aged 20 to 24. In this case, the next ad I can set up is, say, women 25 to 30. As you get more involved with using Excel, one of the best ways to learn what format Facebook likes for its targeting is to set up an advertisement with all the parameters you want and export it just as we did here. You can then study the information in each column and copy and paste that as you create more and more ads. So from here we want to save the file, and then we'll head back to Power Editor to upload it. Once we're in Power Editor, we can go back to the Export and Import button, but first I'm going to head to our campaigns dashboard. I'm going to select Imports in Bulk. We'll choose our file and select Import. Here we can see that our import is complete, and I'm going to close this window. Great! So now we can see the new campaigns that we've created right there at the top. So there you have it. That's the fastest way to create differentiated targeting within Facebook. Are there any ads that are performing well for you that you may want to hone in on and create a more targeted audience for? Go ahead and using what we covered, create a duplicate an advertising set with all of its ads, but then use a new image in those advertisements. Now what we're not doing is linking a new image to each individual advertisement, but instead applying the new image to the advertisements in a single ad set. This is extremely useful if you're testing new image creatives while keeping all remaining variables the same, or just trying to keep things fresh to prevent ad fatigue. To get started, head to the Power Editor tool. You'll be able to access it using the link on your screen, or you can find it in your Ads Manager. So in Power Editor, you'll want to identify the ad set which contains all of the ads that you wish to edit. Now that the ad set we wish to edit is selected, we'll go ahead and select Duplicate. Now double check that Facebook is going to use the same campaign for this ad set, or if you'd like, you can create a new campaign if that's your objective. Next, I'll choose Create. So here we have our second duplicate ad set, and the editing window shows up right away. The next thing we need to do is to open up the ads view. So here I've selected the ads in the list that I wish to edit the image for. Here we can see the image assigned for these ads is the Natural Rehydration Sports Drink. If I scroll down, I can see where this image has been uploaded and have the option to change the image here. I can either upload an image, use the image library, or assign a new stock image to these ads. In this case, I'll use the running image for our advertisements and select Confirm. So this new image has now replaced the images of all the advertisements that we selected. Now, it might take a minute for Facebook to update the preview, but you'll notice that all of these now do contain the image of the runner. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and duplicate an ad set to familiarize yourself with linking new images to the ads and editing your advertisements as a way to differentiate teams. You might want to move ads between one account to another. More often than not, I'll use this if I've created a particular naming structure or an ad configuration that I want to replicate with other accounts. If you're an admin of multiple accounts, an account is automatically selected for you when you go to Power Editor. You can go to the Power Editor tool by accessing the link on your screen or through your Ads Manager. Now you can switch to the account you want to work on by using the drop-down in the image below. So currently I'm in the account where I want to migrate information from. The first thing I'm going to do is select the campaigns I want to duplicate into my other advertising account. I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to head over to the Export and Import button. Here I'll select Export All. Now let's go ahead and open up the spreadsheet. Once we have the Excel file open, we need to delete the information from within the columns Campaign ID, Ad Set ID, and Ad ID. Keep in mind you need to leave the header information there, so I have deleted everything under the heading. Now from here, the easiest thing to do is to save it as an Excel spreadsheet. Now we'll go back to Power Editor, and we'll open up the account we wish to import this information to. We'll make sure we're in the Campaigns view, select the Export Import button, and select Import Ads in Bulk. I'll go ahead and select the file that I saved and import it. Here Facebook's going to let me know if we have any errors and what has been imported. We can always click the View Details if anything is a little bit funky. For now, we're going to take a look at them. We're going to close this out. Now remember, the information we imported is going to be active. So if you'd like to, you may want to go pause those or delete them if you're actually going to be running these under a new account. So are there any ad campaigns that you would like to move to another one of your advertising accounts? Go ahead and walk through these steps to get them copied over. In hopes that they complete a specific action, you really want to consider conversion tracking. The Facebook Pixel combines the power of the Conversion Pixel and Custom Audience Pixel into one single pixel. It will measure, optimize, and build audiences for your ad campaigns. And it can be used for three things. First, it's great for building custom audiences from your website. Second, it's what you'll use to be helping optimize your ads. And third, it tracks conversions and is able to attribute them back to your advertising. Facebook Pixel works by placing a small piece of code on the page that displays immediately following some event. This event or action might be adding an item to a shopping cart, completing a registration form, or actually purchasing a product. Simply speaking, when this web page loads, it'll fire the pixel, letting Facebook know that a conversion has taken place. Facebook then matches that conversion event against the people who saw it or clicked on your advertisement. This way, you're able to track the return on investment specific to Facebook advertising. As Facebook collects more and more data, it'll continue to automatically refine your targeting to maximize profits. Let's take a look at how to set up and install a Facebook Pixel. The first step will be creating your pixel. Head to your Ads Manager and select Pixels from the menu up top. Here you'll see that we already have our pixel set up. If you have not yet done so, Facebook will quickly walk you through those steps, such as entering a name and ensuring you've checked the box of terms and conditions. Now you can only create one Facebook Pixel per account, and once it's set up, it's ready to go. If we select View Pixel Code, here we can take a look at the code snippet. This is your Facebook Pixel. We have the ability to email the pixel code to our developer, and this may be the person that enters it into your website. If you click inside the text box, you can quickly copy this code to your clipboard. It is this code that you'll need to paste between the head tags of your web page. Now that we've got that set up, let's go through how to set up some custom conversions. Your first step will be to head to the top menu and select Custom Conversions. Custom conversions on Facebook allow you to optimize for and track actions without ever having to add anything to your Facebook Pixel base code. To create a custom conversion, we can simply select the Create Custom Conversions button. Here we see our pixel name at the top and now have the option to create some rules. You can add the URL or part of the URL that you're looking to track. For example, your URL could contain the following. So that denotes that there's a thank you page after purchase. If you're using URL equals, make sure to include the domain as well. Next, we'll select a category. In this case, we'll select Initiate Checkout. And we'll go ahead and select Next. Now we need to add a name and a description for our conversion. If a conversion value is applicable, this is where you would assign it. Basically, if you're selling, say, $10 worth of tickets, you put $10 here. This allows you to view your return on ad spend in your reports. When finished, we'll select Create. This info lets us know the pixel isn't firing, and that's because we haven't yet installed it into the page of our website. Now that your custom conversion has been set up, you can make any edits in this dashboard, as well as create any additional custom conversions. So we can simply select this radio button here, edit it or delete it from this option. What's really cool at this point is that you can now create an ad using the website conversions objective. Let's go ahead and create an ad. Our objective will be to increase conversions on our website. And once our custom conversions is set up and our pixel is firing, we'll be able to add it in to this advertising objective. If you haven't already, get your Facebook pixel set up and add it into your web page. Then start creating some custom conversions that help you take your advertising efforts to the next level. You can configure your Facebook pixel directly within the tool. Google Tag Manager is a free tool that makes it easy for marketers to add and update website tags. This way you can create action-specific tags for different pages and events on your website. You'll start by visiting the Google Tag Manager and logging in with your account. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to assume that you've already established an account on Google Tag Manager and that you've got it properly set up and launched on your website. Now I'm already logged in and I've gone ahead and opened the container that we'll be using. The next step will be to click New Tag. First, we need to give this tag a name, which I'll go ahead and do now. And then we need to choose a tag type below. Here we're going to select Custom HTML Tag. We need to use a custom HTML tag template because there isn't a preset template for the Facebook pixel. Here in the HTML window, we'll paste in the pixel exactly as it is on Facebook. You'll find your Facebook pixel in your Ads Manager under Pixels. Go ahead, view the pixel code, and select it to copy it to your clipboard. We'll head back to Google Tag Manager, and we'll paste that code in. We'll select Continue. And our next step is to assign a custom firing rule. I won't go into too many details on how to set this up, but a basic step is to set up a rule to indicate that the URL contains whatever text is in your confirmation page. For simplicity, I am going to go ahead and choose All Pages. Then we're going to create this tag. Now that our tag has been set up, we have a couple more options before we publish. We can preview in order to debug in case there's any issues in the code, or we can save as a new version. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are able to preview our tag. Here we can leave the preview mode or we can go ahead and publish. We'll go ahead and select Publish Now. Now that that's set up, our Facebook pixel will now fire dependent on the firing rules that we've set up. Google Tag Manager is a great tool to complement your Facebook advertising goals. Be sure to return to add more pixels or identify additional rules based on your specific Facebook advertising. So let's put it to work. Let's go over how you can optimize it to increase conversions on your website. I'm in my Ads Manager dashboard and have selected pixels from the menu up top. First, I want to call attention to this dashboard. Most everything you need to know to manage, edit, and create a Facebook pixel is on this page. Now, if you do have any tracking pixels that have not yet been converted to the new Facebook pixel, be sure to update them as Facebook is discontinuing them in late 2016. Now, we'll be creating an advertisement with the website conversions objective, and we'll be selecting the custom conversions we have set up. Then we'll be using the bidding option to bid for website conversions. Facebook then automatically identifies people within your targeting criteria who are most likely to convert. You can either create a new ad in the Ads Create tool or in Power Editor. Since I'm in Pixels, I'm going to go ahead and hit Create Ad from here. This brings us to our Ads Create tool. Now I'm in the Increase Conversions on Your Website objective, and I'm going to go ahead and associate the website I wish to increase conversions for. Here you can see that Facebook prompts you to set up a conversion. It'll take you through an easy guide to get started on that road. I already have a conversion set up, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. Facebook is letting me know that this pixel is not active or not firing, and I know that because this is just an example. But if you're seeing this and you have already created a pixel, please be sure that you're viewing it and refreshing that information to ensure everything's firing properly. I'm going to scroll down and hit Continue. Here we are in our basic ad setup format. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom to focus on the most important piece we're talking about, and that's how bidding works. Here we'll want to take a look at the optimization for ad delivery option. It's here we can choose how we want to optimize. In this case, we're already selected to optimize for website conversions, and Facebook is automatically optimizing our bid based on what they think will be most effective. We also have the option to optimize for impressions, link clicks to your website, and a daily unique reach. You still have the option to manually set your bid for website conversions, so we'll select that here. And in this case, you can set what your target bid per conversion is. So say you have a cost per acquisition of $7, you would maximize this at $7. I'll go ahead and enter that in here. Here we can also see the suggested bid is $8.29, and that's based on some competitor and other industry information that Facebook has collected. So once your ads are live with this optimization feature included, you'll be able to track the conversions alongside each advertisement in your reporting view. So if you've set up your tracking pixel and are ready to optimize your conversions, ensuring that the people most likely to complete an action on your website are served your ads, you'll want to create and increase conversions on your website campaign and go through the bidding options. You have multiple ad accounts, have multiple people managing your Facebook presence, operate more than a few pages, or you're working with an agency. Business Manager puts your pages, ad accounts, and the people you need at your fingertips. With everything in one place, you can quickly see what's happening across all your touch points on Facebook. So to get started, you'll visit business.facebook.com and you'll arrive at the page here. The first thing we need to do is log in. Looking up at the top right-hand corner, you can see that I've already done so. Now you'll need to log in with your personal Facebook account or a business account if you're sharing accounts. The account you'll log in with will become the primary user of the Business Manager, but all your personal Facebook details won't be shared within the tool. The only information other users will be able to see is your name, the business name you choose when you set up the account, and the email address which you provide. Users will also see any pages that you've associated within this manager. Once you're logged in, let's go ahead and choose Create Account. We'll review the information that Facebook is displaying on this page as we go through the sign-up process. It's a little easier to understand this way. Here we need to enter the name of our business, and this will be who we are. So if we're an agency and we're planning on managing multiple pages, I put the name of our agency. In this case, I'll put my name as I'm the primary owner of the ads we'll be running. I'll select Continue. Again, like I said, nothing from your personal Facebook profile will show in Business Manager. Here we're going to confirm my first name, last name, and then my business email. And we'll select Finish. So welcome to Business Manager. So we've successfully created our account and profile. Here we can see on our left, we have our setup guide as well as our other options of Ads Manager, Power Editor, and some additional business settings. Let's go through the Business Manager setup guide. Here on this page, we're able to manage all our settings for Business Manager. Now, we're able to add any ad accounts that we work with. We're also able to create a brand new ad account here on the right. Below is where we're going to claim any pages. So if our business already owns any, or we need to own them, this is where we can claim those pages and associate them with the Business Manager. And lastly, we're able to add a Business Manager admin. So we can add or remove any employees, partners, admins, and anyone else that might need access to our account. Selecting the briefcase will take us back to the main page of the dashboard. With Business Manager, everything is in one place, so you'll have full control in order to be successful. I highly recommend going through the steps we just did to set up Business Manager for managing access to pages and ad accounts. It's geared towards companies who need to give different permissions to a lot of different people. With it, you're able to manage access to all your pages and accounts, and very importantly, keep your work separate. So you get to access pages and ad accounts without having to be Facebook friends with, say, your coworkers. Let's go ahead now and learn how to navigate Business Manager. You can access your Business Manager account dashboard by going to business.facebook.com. Once you're logged in, you'll be presented with a dashboard listing all of the combined assets linked to your business account. As you can see here, this is an overview of what's going on in your account. At a glance, you can see basic information about each asset, including things like spend activity and page likes. This makes it really easy to view everything at a high level, giving you a more efficient workflow when working with multiple pages. On the left, you'll see a menu that allows quick access to your other advertising tools like Ads Manager and Power Editor. It's here you can also add or claim assets, which are things like your pages, people you wish to grant access to your Business Manager, and add accounts. Now at the top right, you'll see the option to take a more in-depth look at your settings within Business Manager. You can also find this option on the menu to the left. Let's head there now. Here you can see we're in the Business Manager Settings page. At the top, we have a persistent header that we can select at any time to drill down into more specific information. On the left, if you hover over this menu, you'll see additional options to refine your dashboard view. While we're in the People and Assets section, notice that you have the opportunity to use the search functionality in order to refine them. So if I want to filter by specific name, I can go ahead and type it in here. This is really helpful if you have a large list of assets. I'm going to go ahead and delete this option. The Add New People option is where you'll grant key people access to your business account. Selecting that, you'll see that Facebook will pop up a window asking you specific criteria. Here you have the option of adding a person as a Business Manager admin or as a Business Manager employee. You'll go ahead and enter the email of the person that you wish to add. Facebook will then send them an email so they can confirm their access. One thing to note is that below, Facebook will lay out the different permissions for the Business Manager employees and the Business Manager admins, so take a look here to really review your permissions and roles. I'm going to exit out of here and we're going to take a look at pages. Right now, I only have one page associated with this account, and our ad count isn't showing up yet, so we'll have to link to that in the future. Here we can add a new page by selecting Add New Page in the right-hand corner. With this option, we can either claim a page, request access to a page, or create a new one. You'll select the corresponding option and then choose Next, and then go ahead and follow the prompts. Under a page, you'll also have a list of users, and the list of users under it is not always the people who have access to Business Manager. Many pages have other moderators and admins pre-assigned, and you'll be able to review and modify that list from the screen. Here next to my name, I could choose to edit my role, changing in between Page Admin to Page Analyst. Now let's take a look at the Ads Account section. Much like a page, we can link multiple advertising accounts and assign users from within our Business Manager. Again, we have the option of claiming an account, requesting access, or creating a brand new one. Next, I'm going to jump over to Projects here. It's on this page that we have a pretty neat feature with Business Manager, and that's the ability to organize assets into folders, or what they call projects. Here you can see that we already have one named, and that's Advertising Goals. You can easily create your own projects using the New Project option on the right. Once you select Create New Project, you'll be able to name your project and save it, and then it will show in your dashboard here. Now to speak a little further on the top menu, the Partners tab here is where you'll manage your Facebook partner relationships. Payments is where you'll manage your payment methods and billing information. And Business Info is where you'll update your business account information and preferences to make sure that Business Manager works in a way that is effective for you. Preferences lets you select your notifications, so basically what information you'll be getting emails for. Lastly, Requests is where you'll see requests from other business managers to access any of your pages, accounts, or assets. Don't be afraid to go through the setup guide to make sure that you're using Business Manager to its full potential. And at any time, you can select your company logo at the top left to go back to the home page. I highly encourage you to set up Business Manager to help optimize your advertising efforts. It will help keep you organized and provide you with a lot of extra functionality to truly unlock the potential of Facebook advertising. It's important to keep a tab on what permissions they have. Facebook Business Manager makes it easy to do just that. Business Manager is a secure tool for managing access to pages and ad accounts, geared towards companies who need to give different permissions to a lot of different people. Let's take a look at how roles work within Business Manager so you can configure permissions properly as you leverage this tool for your business. Here you can see that I'm in Business Manager. You can access your account by heading to business.facebook.com. We'll now head to Business Settings and we're defaulted into the People section. From here, I'll select Add New People in the upper right-hand corner. This is where we're going to add the person we want to grant access to. I'll go ahead and enter the email of that person. And next, we'll need to select a role, either a Business Manager employee or a Business Manager admin. An admin can manage all aspects of the business, including modifying or deleting the account and adding or removing people. An employee can see all the information in the business settings, but they can't make any changes. In the case of Sabrina, I'll select Admin. And then I'll select Add People. Here we can select any pages that she should also have permissions to work on. I'll select the H+ Sport page. It's here I can also set a role for this selection. So we have page admin, editor, moderator, etc. Now a page editor can edit the page, send messages, and post as a page, and they also have the ability to create ads and view insights. A moderator can only respond and delete comments on the page, but they also have the ability to send messages as a page and create ads. Page moderators can't post as a page, however. A page advertiser can create ads for the page and view insights, and a page analyst can only view those insights. In this case, I'm going to make Sabrina a page admin, and then we'll choose Next. From here, we can add Sabrina to any advertising accounts. I'll add her to the H+ advertising account. And just as we did before, we can set some permission settings. Here we only have 3 options. She can be an admin, an advertiser, or an analyst. Again, an admin will give her all the rights. The ad account advertiser will let her see and edit ads and set them up. And she'll also have access to the payment method that we've already associated with the account. An analyst is able to adjust and see the ad performance. So we'll make Sabrina an admin. And we'll select Next. In this option, you may create some rules on the pages or ad accounts. Currently, we don't have any available, but selecting from this drop-down, you may have some specific criteria that you can choose. I'm going to go ahead and skip this section. And here we have it. An invitation has been sent to Sabrina, and we've given one person, Sabrina, access to the H+ account at an admin level. We're going to go ahead and close this box. Below, we can see that our invitation is pending. When adding people to your account, be sure to understand all the role permissions when adding new people to Business Manager, and review your permission settings carefully and regularly to make sure that you're maintaining full control over all the assets you manage on Facebook. Custom advertisement to people who have already visited your website. Users will see your ad appear in their newsfeed or on their sidebar in Facebook, depending on how you have them configured. In this case, you'll use your Facebook pixel, a bit of code on your website which tags a visitor, and then Facebook will identify that user once they're logged into Facebook. For example, say our sports drink company H+ wants to use a Facebook pixel to reach visitors who have arrived at the website but never purchased a product. We might decide to provide them with a custom offer, say 10% off shipping or 10% off their next purchase. How this differs from a custom audience that uses, say, an email list or mobile IDs is that you use a Facebook pixel, where you don't require any information on your user. So basically, anyone who visits your website and then later logs into Facebook is eligible to see your advertisement. No email address or phone number is required. To get this started, let's head over to the Pixel menu option from Ads Manager. You can access Ads Manager by heading to the link on your screen or by selecting the drop-down at the top right-hand side of your Facebook account and selecting Manage Ads. Now that we're in the Pixels view, and we select that by heading to the Ads Manager menu up top, we have the option of creating an audience. Let's go ahead and select that option. This shows that we will be using our Facebook pixel. Now we have the option of configuring our audience based on our specific criteria. So let's select people visiting specific web pages but not others. Here we want to offer a 10% off coupon to visitors who have visited our store cart but never checked out. So let's add that in. So we'll select URL equals, and that's the exact URL that we want to target. Then we'll be sure to add in the URL for our checkout page. Remember, this is just an example, so ensure that you're very clear about what URLs or keywords you're going to include. So here we have created a list of users who have visited the cart but abandoned it on the last page. I'll keep the look-back period to 30 days, and we'll enter a specific audience name. We also have the option of adding a description here. We'll go ahead and select Create Audience. Select OK. Now my audience is ready. I'll be able to find it in the Audiences tab up top. Here we can see our audience, customers who have abandoned cart up top here. Now with this audience, you could test various offers. You could try an ad for free shipping, 10% off, or a free gift, etc. So your next step would then be setting up an ad using this custom audience. You'll go through those steps using either Power Editor or Ads Manager. An often overlooked feature of retargeting is that of exclusion criteria. If you're doing a lot of advertising on Facebook, you may want to prevent your ads from being seen by anyone who's a member of your site or has previously purchased your product. You'll do this by excluding visitors who've seen certain pages on your site, maybe those behind a paywall or a special confirmation page. Your customers spend a lot of time on Facebook, and retargeting is a great way to expand your reach. Go ahead and set up some remarketing campaigns and be sure to test out when it comes to retargeting. So if you're looking to do more than just the basics, you'll want to partner with a Facebook marketing partner. This program was created to help businesses scale their marketing efforts on Facebook. Here you can see the various areas of expertise these marketing partners have. Now, if you're looking for a marketing partner, Facebook does have a handy tool to search by specialty, country, and industry in order to find the best match. Once you head to the tool, you'll simply answer the questions, and Facebook will match you with some marketing partners that may be able to fit your needs. Once you are matched, you will work with the partners directly. Facebook is not an intermediary. Facebook marketing partners are not endorsed by Facebook, but are vetted for excellence by country, industry, and specialty. And partners that meet this criteria earn a partner badge. How these partners work is that they use a Facebook API to build advanced marketing solutions, and they operate under a variety of fee structures. Many will charge you a percentage of your advertising spend with some predetermined minimum. Others have their own prices built into the CPM you're paying, so you'll set your objective and buy the ads at their rate. If you're doing enough volume, the fees are almost always worth it. Now, these partners can handle the complexity of thousands of creatives and targeting across a variety of audience. You'll also gain access to their ROI optimization algorithms, track and spend with more granularity, and conduct a cohort analysis, but there's a multitude of features specific to retargeting. These partners will access what's called the Facebook Exchange, or FBX for short. This exchange allows advertisers to use their own data to reach an audience on Facebook, and this means they'll use a third-party Facebook pixel to gather that information. When you look for a Facebook marketing partner, be sure to look at their area of expertise. Like I mentioned earlier, they'll have expertise in one of 9 areas. Here you can see them listed on the slide. Now, if a company has more than one area of expertise, sometimes they're thought to be well-rounded, but this doesn't necessarily make them the best choice. So here are some criteria for choosing a marketing partner. Instead of looking at just the badge and just their specialty, be sure to evaluate them based on their pricing and their platform. It's important to understand the markup that a third party contains in their pricing. Will you have control over the bids? Or are they preset? Is it a CPM or CPC or CPA deal? You should also identify what features are available to you. Can they create dynamic ads? These are ads that are automatically customized on the fly. For example, if you sell shoes, you can show the exact same pair of shoes a user looked at but didn't buy on Facebook. Instead of creating the ads manually, a marketing partner can automatically create them based on the data you provide. Also, what type of segmentation can you conduct? Are you able to create lists based on what types of pages visitors see? Testing is also another important element of effective retargeting. Check to see if the tool provides built-in A/B testing tools. And also, be sure to consider the management aspect. Can you easily upload bulk advertisements and images? Does it also work with third-party tools? Take your time collecting all the information you require, and if you're ready to scale your advertising efforts, Head to the Facebook Marketing Partner tool you see on the screen to get matched with Facebook marketing partners to select from in order to take your Facebook retargeting to the next level. Retargeting or remarketing means that you can reach people who have visited your website with Facebook ads. Facebook has limited functionality when it comes to retargeting, so if you're looking to scale your efforts, here are some retargeting partners that specialize in FBX or Facebook retargeting. Each have their own pros and cons, and almost all of them have one unique item to differentiate them from the competition. I'm going to share a couple with you that stand out from the pack. They're a great starting point if you're just getting started, and others are an excellent transition as you move from small campaigns to larger scale operations. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that Facebook provides you with a complete list of these approved providers. You can see this list on your screen here. Now I'm on the page, I'm going to filter my options to show the partners that provide FBX, which we'll need for retargeting. Now as you scroll down to view the entire list, and as you identify a company, you can choose to view their profile or to contact them. Below under Specialties, you can see the individual badges that they have earned from Facebook. This means that this is their specialty. So AdRoll has Ad Technology, FBX, which we're looking for, and Small Business Solutions. Let's take a closer look at AdRoll. AdRoll are definitely leaders when it comes to retargeting. They have a robust self-service dashboard and claim to have the most widely used retargeting platform in the industry. This gives them a unique insight into data, which they can then leverage to improve the success of your advertisements. With AdRoll, you're able to leverage dynamic ads to deliver customized advertisements based on what products a user saw on your website. They also have granular reporting, and if you spend enough, dedicated support reps to make it easy to grow into. What's great is they have no minimums and no contracts, so it's really easy to dive in and give it a go with little to no risk, especially for the small business. Next is Perfect Audience. Perfect Audience doesn't have the same polish to the interface as AdRoll does, but what they lack in design, they make up for in performance. Perfect Audience provides the same capabilities as AdRoll to craft self-service campaigns, manage budgets, and review performance metrics. They do require prepayment, but they have no minimums, setup fees, or contracts. Perfect Audience does require prepayment, but they have no minimums, no setup fees, or contracts. They too charge on a CPM basis and apply their markup in between the purchase price from Facebook and delivery to you. You will have control over the CPM bids, and they tend to have some of the lowest CPM rates in the industry. The last company I'd like to point out is Trade Desk. If you have significant advertising spend and want to work with the pioneers of real-time bidding, give them a look. They claim to be the fastest growing demand-side platform in the industry, and they leverage more than just FBX retargeting to handle advertising across multiple platforms. Their sole focus isn't FBX, however, so you'll have to evaluate the tool as a multi-layer solution. They were an early partner with FBX, however, so they're bound to have a large data set to make advanced decisions. Unlike the other companies that we looked at, they do have a fairly high minimum ad spend, so you'll need to be a little bit of a larger company before you jump in with Trade Desk. As your needs grow, along with your account spends, you'll want to evaluate platforms that are tailored to larger sizes, and Trade Desk may be an option. Go ahead and take a look at the list of potential marketing partners at facebookmarketingpartners.com. Start evaluating if any fit your needs. It never hurts to take a look at scaling your efforts, especially when it comes to retargeting testing tools. So if you're running larger scale campaigns, you may want to look into partnering with a Facebook marketing partner in order to gain access to a more robust set of testing tools. But there is a way you can still run these tests yourself in the Facebook advertising platform, and we'll run through how to do just that. A quick overview. A/B testing is the ideal methodology for optimizing campaigns. The idea is simple. You take one advertisement and compare it to a second advertisement. For the cleanest tests, you'll stick to changing just one element. Perhaps it's a call to action, the visual image, or the ad headline. Your goal is to receive equivalent impressions to an equivalent audience without the audience inadvertently seeing both ads. This is what we call a clean test. It's controlled, and you'll be able to easily measure the results. At the end of the test, you review the metrics and determine if there's a statistical significance. That's to say, you can safely assume that A outperformed B. If you're just starting out on Facebook, it really does do a decent job of picking winning advertisements if you drop your A version and B version ads next to each other in the same ad set. Facebook's motivated by earning money, so it's in their best interest to help identify the winning ad. So let's say I want to run an A/B test that uses the call to action Shop Now versus the call to action Learn More. What I would do is first create a campaign, an ad set, and then my advertisement. I configure all my targeting appropriately from there. I'd replicate the campaign, including the ad set and the advertisement, but I'll change the ad in the B set to have the modified call to action. I've gone ahead and created this, as you can see on your screen. I have highlighted the two campaigns for our A/B test. I've gone ahead and labeled them A/B test and then the specific call to actions for each one. This way, it's easy to identify which campaigns are running the A/B tests and which ones have the different call to actions. Now, if I go into our advertisements, here I'll select one of our A/B test advertisements. If I scroll down, here you'll see that the call to action is Learn More. With our second advertisement, if I scroll down, here you can see that we set our call to action for Shop Now. The ad sets, targeting, and bid options are identical, and that's required when running this A/B testing. Now, one thing you're going to want to do in your advertisements is to include custom tracking on your URLs, especially if you have two ads sending traffic to the same landing page. Facebook data is okay, but it's important to compare it to another source, such as Google Analytics. So it'd be in the website URL here that you would enter your custom URL. And you would customize your URL using a service like Bitly or your UTM tracking tags, and you can use a unique campaign ID to differentiate between Test A and Test B. Using a customized URL, remember to set up a unique one for your A ad and your B ad. From there, you'd be able to track your results in your Bitly dashboard. Now, once I've made sure that all the bidding options are the same, I'd launch these two campaigns simultaneously with the same budget. There is a risk that two people would see the same ad, and it could skew results slightly, but with a large enough audience and enough ad impressions, you should be able to get a fairly clean test. It won't be perfect, but it really is sufficient. One last thing is, after your test is done, you want to review your ad frequency. So if one advertisement had a much larger ad frequency than the other test, it may not be as clean as you're aiming for. You'll want to rerun the test until you get ad frequencies that are pretty similar, and you'll also want to make sure that most of the other variables are consistent. This is a great way to run A/B tests within Facebook. It's important to always be testing your advertisements and measuring their results. This is a proven way to increase optimization of your advertising of the advanced targeting options in the Facebook advertising platform. You really can create highly effective lead generation campaigns. Using our fictitious brand H+, let's go through an example of a lead generation technique. One thing to remember is that with the number of worldwide Facebook accounts in the billions, we have the opportunity of reaching pretty much anyone we wish. So your first step is going to be identifying your objective and then the method by which you'll capture that lead. Let's say I'm looking for a decision maker at a large-scale grocery chain. I want them to purchase bulk quantities of my sports beverage. What I want to do is to find that decision maker, and I want them to fill out an interest form on my website. So I'll first build a landing page on my website tailored to that audience. Next, I'll create my advertisement, something that catches their attention and includes a call to action prompting them to learn more. The advertisement should directly speak to the people that are in that decision-making position. Now, within Power Editor, I've gone ahead and already set up this campaign labeled B2B Advertising Buyers. You can access Power Editor by heading over to your Ads Manager and selecting Power Editor from the drop-down menu. Here we are in our ad set for this specific campaign. Now, if we scroll down to the detailed targeting option, this is where we're going to target the specific people, that is, the buyers for this large-scale grocery chain. Select Demographics, and I'll scroll down to Work. Here we see the different options, so we can target employers, industries, job titles, and even office type. So let's go ahead and select employers. Kroger's and Kroger. Next, we are going to select job titles. So I want to find a buyer. maybe a buyer assistant as well. And then perhaps I want a general manager here. Now you could also include industries or office type like you saw, and this would add additional layers of granularity. This really can be useful if you're reaching a broad audience. Another tip is to use the location filtering to target specific areas. So if you know your company is located in Santa Barbara, for example, you might refine your search to only include that or a certain radius around a specific city. I'll go ahead and type in Santa Barbara. Here you can see that our audience on the right went from very broad to very specific. This is good for our specific ad. Using the options we discussed for targeting an audience, how might you craft a lead generation campaign for your business? We've covered a lot of material, so I recommend revisiting any videos that align with your specific advertising objectives. What I love about online advertising is that the landscape is always changing. I don't view this as a challenge, but instead as an opportunity to keep on learning and finding new edges and advantages for your business or brand. To stay on top of those changes, I want to share some helpful resources. First is the Facebook Marketing Partners resource we covered in the course. This website explains the program and provides the latest updates. Second is the Facebook Marketing Partner tool. This tool will help match your business with the best Facebook marketing partner to fit your advertising needs. John Loomer runs a fantastic blog dedicated solely to marketing and advertising on Facebook. I highly recommend checking it out. There are so many ways to take the material in this course and build a creative and effective marketing campaign. A phenomenal book to help you think outside the box is called Growth Hacker Marketing by Ryan Holiday. As always, feel free to connect with me on Twitter via @SocialMegAdams. I'd love to see what you're working on and hear how your Facebook advertising is going. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this course as much as I've enjoyed sharing it with you.